Hey, Donnie Smith here, and welcome to my lesson on body filler. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to get the repair area ready for body filler, and we're going to show you a method of how to apply the body filler and how to block sand the body filler. And if you enjoy this video, be sure and give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Okay, this fender is now ready for some body filler. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a DA, and like I said, I'm trying to eliminate the amount I use a grinder. We used to always, when we get ready for body filler, you want to rough up the surface so that the body filler will stick to it. But we're starting to use DAs more. And anytime you use body filler, you want body filler to be applied straight over metal. So we'll need to sand it down to the metal. All right, starting to take it to the metal. It takes a little bit longer doing it like this than it may with a grinder. And you may also notice that I'm using a dust respirator. Anytime that you're sanding any paint or body fillers, you don't want to be breathing all that. It's always a good idea to wear a dust respirator when performing these type of sanding operations. All right, as I'm DAing this fender, whenever you apply body filler, as I mentioned, you want it to go you want to sand past the repair area at least 4 inches, so you ensure that you do get body filler on the metal and that it won't be overlapping getting into the paint. And here I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of metal tape. I'll probably drop that later, but for right now I'm going to go ahead and put, you don't have to use this aluminum type tape. You can use a couple of layers of just regular masking tape. This is a little bit stronger, but I'm going to put a layer of that so you don't scratch this bumper at all. And sanding it off with the DA is going to take a little bit longer than a grinder like we've traditionally done, but you know, it does not take hardly any metal off of it. And that's the last thing we want to do is thin or weaken the metal. So a little extra time, you know, be worth it in the end. Now we have the repair area sanded down to the metal. And we have it sanded well past the repair area so that if body filler does lap over a little bit, we're not going to be getting the body filler onto the paint. That's what you don't want to get. So all this area in here is metal. Let's say perhaps there was an area here that did come off with the DA, a low area. You could then use a little 3-inch grinder or something like that and grind that area out, and then use a stud nail gun or something like that if you could not get to the back side. This is all going to feel fine. There'll be no problems with that. So what we can do now is we can blow it off and get it good and clean, and then we'll apply a light coat of body filler onto the metal surface. And probably with this one we can block sand at one time and be done. And then we'll go ahead and put glaze coat on this one to show you how to do that. Block it out one time, and then it'll be ready for prime. So. Okay, you got it sanded down. Now we're just going to blow the surface off, because it's very important not to put body filler on top of dust or anything, or it won't adhere properly. So let's go ahead and blow. And today we're going to use this 3M gun to apply the body filler. I find this pretty useful. It saves a lot of time. I've already put a new tip on. You need to be sure and make sure that the body filler there's the hardener's inside this tube and it mixes in this tip. So you want to make sure that it mixes before you put it onto the car, or you'll have unmixed body filler. First you want to apply it and put it on really tight, push it down, spread her down really hard, putting on a tight coat, and that causes it to adhere really good, sticking to the surface. And then just put on a good even coat. You're not wanting to put too much on, keep the Try to keep it as thin as possible. And I'm going to also kind of feather my body filler in. That'll kind of prevent some of the having to feather it in by sanding. So I'm going to kind of use this edge. And I'm going to just kind of push real light, and all at the same time making sure it's not on the painted surfaces. That's also kind of feathering the body filler in too. And that way it'll eliminate the amount of sanding that you have to do. Don't really want any hard edges. And also want to make certain it's not on the, get it back off the painted surface. Get that. It's a lot easier to clean any areas like this up while it's wet, and rather than trying to wait till it dries to dig it all out. So. All right, we put the body filler on, we let it dry for a little bit. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some 36 on a block. I'm going to block this out. It's not fully dry yet, but it's in the process of drying. If you can catch it at the right time, it's a lot easier to sand. You can kind of level it out and knock some of the highs down when it's like this. So I'll go ahead and sand it, and if you sand too early, you're going to peel it. It's going to kind of start peeling from the metal. And of course, if you're too late, it's going to be fully hardened and just be a little bit harder to sand. And you don't want to try to sand all the way down to the surface whenever you're doing this method. This just kind of level it out a little bit just to eliminate some of the blocks. I'm just lightly going over it. I really don't want to get 36 scratches all out here. You notice how fast it's sanding off. Yeah, it's starting to feel pretty level. Feels good. A little bit right here. Get it missing a little bit. Okay, now that's all I want to sand right now. I want to go ahead and let it fully dry, and then I'll finish sanding it out. I'll switch to 80 grit and get rid of these 36 grit scratches, and then we'll talk about applying some putty. And 3M now makes putty, glazing putty with the same system. It's pretty new. This is the body filler that we have right here, and then there's a glazing putty for it. And they've also came up with a fiberglass filler, and that's used for any time you weld something. You have to put fiberglass on first because it seals really good. Body filler doesn't really seal that good. But anyway, we'll talk about that later, and we'll finish getting this sanded with some 80 grit after it dries, finish drying a little longer, and then we'll be ready for the glaze. Okay, now I've allowed it to dry a little bit longer. Now it's fully hardened. So I'm going to go ahead and finish sanding this out. I'm going to hit a little bit more 36, and then I'll switch to 80. You can notice how much more it's a little harder to sand, and it's more of a powder now that it's drier. So be sure to cross sand to keep from falling in the bottom. Okay, that's starting to feel pretty level, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to some 80 grit here. All right, now I've got 80 grit on my block. I'm going to finish sanding it. Especially on your edges, be sure and cross in a lot. That helps feather it in without undercutting it. Sometimes I'll even sand in circles, back and forth. keep your block flat in order to get a level surface. Feels pretty good, but notice I do got a little bit of body filler on the paint here. I did overlap. So be sure that you do get that sanded off. You'll notice we got some metal showing here. Sometimes that could indicate a high. In this case it's not, but sometimes if you get metal showing, feel of it. If it is a high, you can take your hammer and lightly you can tap it down. And I'm not going to do it right now because I don't think that it needs that, but you could lightly tap it down. Now from this point, you got a couple of options. You could put some guide coat on here and go ahead and finish this off with 150 grit sandpaper, but we're going to use putty on this one, glazing putty. And that wraps up the lesson on body filler. Now in this video we finished out the body filler in 80, but you don't want to stop there. The reason we did that in this video because we're going to put glaze putty on in the next video. But if you're going to finish the body filler out without glaze putty, be sure that you finish it out with something finer, something like 150 to 220 grit. Kind of a preference. I usually finish it out with 150 because the primers I use, you know, it seems like it fills that pretty good. And a lot of times I can prime a block one time and it's ready for paint. And another thing about finishing it in 150 grit, again, that's preference. 150 to 220 is kind of the range you can use. But if you look at the P pages in the Mitchell estimating guide, when it talks about what consists of the body repair work, that's kind of where it ends. That's the cutoff, is 150 grit. So the body repair technician is paid up to 150 grit. And then once it's finished out in 150 grit, then it's considered to go over to the paint side. And then when it goes over to the paint side, the refinish side, anything finer than 150 kind of falls on their side. So that's kind of why I cut it off at 150. And again, you know, that's what I use most of the time. Primer fills it great. I've had no problems with that. But if you want to go finer than 150, and a lot of technicians do, if you want to go, you know, as fine as 180 or even 220, you know, that's just a preference. If you want to go ahead and finish it out, you know, with that grit of paper. Then the paint department can finish it out with feather edge it with 220 and continue with that until they get it prime blocked and into the paint booth. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure and go down and give us a like. Share this with your friends. If you haven't subscribed, you be sure to subscribe. And we'll have more videos heading your way. Talk soon.